Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of the CrossFit Coaches Corner. Today we are talking about a few different things. First one is going to be our competition we've just done at the weekend. So how did it go? I was working, sadly.
Yeah, it was really good. It was all in-house, so it was just our members doing it. We categorised people skilled, intermediate and RX, and it was myself and Pete who decided who was going where, which I think worked really well.
Anyone unhappy?
Yeah, probably one pair, but they did well, and they should have been where there was. Okay. They should have been in the RX, but they did really good. They can complete all the movements. Probably training up to it probably let them down a little bit, to be honest, and they know that. So yeah, we categorised everybody, which made it a lot better, because when people come to do our competitions, we don't categorise them; they choose which category they go in. As we all know, that skilled person who jumps up and does affected butterfly pull-ups unbroken.
That's with every comp that every gym do, though, don't they?
Yeah, it's so hard to control. We were hoping that CrossFit Levels would have stopped that.
They're out now.
They have released them again, and they're going to do it on the Community Cup.
Yeah,
easier for me to say. So hopefully, people will actually use those levels, but you won't be able to go check them.
No.
Yeah, so I'm level 5, I'll go scaled. There's no way of really finding it out unless you ask people to take screenshots as a register.
Was it quite a good split between all three gyms? Well,
mainly Hull and Number.
Yeah.
Brough came down. Obviously, it's a new gym, so not many of them are into the competition side of it yet. But they came down. It was Mandy and Ben who came skiing with us.
Yeah.
And then I'd say it was probably evenly split. Maybe one extra team from Humber.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, so it was really good. So we had 7 in the RX. We had 12 in the intermediate and 7 in the skilled. That middle ground is always the busiest.
That's not a bad amount, actually, when it comes to teams, is it?
No, it was really good. And we listened to what people were asking. So the first thing was we put an in-house comp on. We did it across all 3 gyms, and we didn't keep everybody all day. So the goal was to finish at 1 o'clock. We ran over by about 20 minutes. By the time we did podiums, it was wrapped up for 1:30. So that part of it was really good. Everybody seems to have enjoyed it. We've had some good feedback.
Yeah, I mean, I was stuck at work, talk about FOMO, but all the socials look good, and I know there's a lot of good feedback from people saying they enjoyed it.
Yeah, we was a bit concerned that what would the atmosphere be like, because if there was only those competing there, it's hard to have a bit of a crowd.
Yeah,
because there was only 4 heats, so he was on the floor, he was judging as well as getting warmed up, but actually quite a lot of members signed up to support it. Good. So the crowd was really good. Obviously, everybody was cheering everybody on because it's all our own gym members. So yeah, it was really, really good actually.
Did it have Friday Night Lights feel?
I'd say it was better than that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I generally thought it was better than Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights, there's some working out. There's a lot of people stood around doing nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas it was full on comp vibe like we've ever had.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So people cheering. Would have liked to see a lift in there because
we all love a lift.
A heavy clean or something like that, just because it really hypes the crowd up, and you get loads of people cheering on.
I'm guessing that's going to be in the next comp, which is kind of a very nice introduction to our
next.
When is the next comp? Apart from the beach comp.
So the beach is the 5th and 6th of July.
Yeah.
So we have mixed fours and same-sex pairs. Tickets still available.
So that's over 2 days now, isn't it?
Yeah. So you only compete on one day, but yeah, same-sex fours goes on the Saturday, and then the mix goes on the Sunday. But events coming up. So next event is actually Murph.
Yes.
So May the 24th, I have that down for. So that's a
Saturday.
How are you doing it? How am I going to do it? Well, I ain't doing it unpartitioned again. Absolutely not. I don't know. I'll probably, in the past, I've jumped in with new members who have been a bit apprehensive about doing it because of the volume. So I might jump in and partner up with somebody.
So for anyone who hasn't done Murph before, it is a famous workout through the CrossFit community.
Probably up there with the most famous.
Yeah.
And Lone Survivor, the film, probably helped that.
Yeah. It's a good thing to figure out why we do the workout. But the workout itself, it is very daunting when you look at it. So a really good suggestion, exactly what you've said, is to partner up and do half the reps. Share the run, do half the reps, and it just makes it's still a massive workout.
Yeah. There's a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't partner it up. You know, it's supposed to be hard. The whole idea of a hero workout is to go through some
It is.
stress.
You know what, though? Even half for Murph is a hard workout for someone.
Yeah, there's still a lot of volume, especially for somebody new. Like you don't want anybody to walk away with rhabdo.
And if we talk about rhabdo, that's probably one of the workouts where
A lot of strain,
you can push yourself into that.
Like when I stupidly did it, I did it on partition last year. Within 24 hours, I went and got on an aeroplane. Steve Tarbell. Went and got on an aeroplane and thought I could get rhabdo here.
Yeah.
And it's just me and Ted. I was in proper panic mode.
So don't worry about it. You more than likely won't get rhabdo.
No, you won't.
The coaches are there to look out for you, but it's a very intense workout. But it is probably our biggest community benchmark workout we do.
Yeah, it's the one that we do the charity day for. So we normally pick a local charity to work for. We do £10 entry for members. It's not, you don't have to, but we ask for a £10 donation if you can make that donation, and then the money raised across the 2 sites we put to a local charity for them to use, which we've worked with Paul for Brain recently. I don't think we've actually said who we're going to go for, but it'll be another local charity that's helping people out. So that's May the 24th. So we usually do the workout. Usually starts at 9 a.m. top of my head.
Yeah.
Get everybody warmed up, and we actually let everybody go at once.
It's
carnage.
I love it.
Yeah, it's absolute carnage. So we open it up to 50 people, which is roughly where we get to.
Yeah.
I would love to get more this year. But yeah, it's carnage. You can get about 25 people working on the rig at once.
Yeah.
So some jump in, some jump out, some decide to do the squats. As long as you get the volume done, that's the main thing. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And then usually we fire the barbecue up.
And I think Bruff's doing theirs on the
Friday night.
Mainly because of their car park issues are a bit different on a weekend with football. So I think we've pulled the safety card a bit. And it's
just Friday the 23rd. Whatever.
Yeah, we've got to work around. But again, members at Bruff, if you look at the workout and think it's done and it's whatever, just get yourself there and we'll scale you.
It doesn't need to be done.
It's a proper day.
No. Yeah, it's a really good event. Like I said, barbecue comes out afterwards, and then usually actually go out for a few drinks.
Yeah, big social day, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't take much to feel a bit tipsy after doing math usually. So it's good. It's a good day. So we'll keep everybody up to date on that.
Yeah.
So it's actually Murph next. Then it's the beach comp on the 5th and 6th of July, and then August the 9th.
Yes.
12 and 12. So we were going to try to change the format up and do something different, but general consensus was everybody actually likes doing the 12 and 12.
Oh, right.
So we are doing it. We did it last year.
Going to get planning again.
We did. Yeah, we're going to plan it properly. So we go push, pull, squat, cardio, lift.
Metcon.
So it's not just going to be pull-ups.
For me, that is. We started it a few years back, didn't we?
Yeah.
I can't believe it is a few years actually.
Yeah,
thinking about
this will be the 3rd anniversary, isn't
it? That is for the Move charity that we do. The guys with brain injuries on the class, and I think once you see the transformation they've made, it is that 12 for 12 is grim, but it is for a very good charity.
I think I preferred last year's.
Okay, yeah.
Even though it was obviously drawn out of heart and we did a lot of the same movements, I don't know why. I thought more people attended last year. I'd say we had more space as well, didn't we? The gym was opened up.
Every year we try and make it better, and I think.
You didn't even do it last year, did you?
No, I was
pretending you had a knee injury
the day before. I was stood in the gym with my knee bleeding.
Yeah,
and my wife very not happy with me, but it was a good day, and we hopefully will keep this going and keep making it better. So we'll have to get to the drawing board on that.
Yeah. So 12 and 12, again, we'll release a lot more information on the lead up to that. 12 and 12, you don't have to do all 12 either. You can come in at any point, do 1 workout, 2 workouts, 3 workouts, half a day. Pick what you want, really.
And the main aim is to raise money.
Yeah. So we're going to go see if we can do sponsored workouts, as in put out to local businesses.
Yeah.
If they'd like to sponsor it, one of the 12 workouts, instead of relying on members pulling from the same sort of pool of sponsorships always, is can we get local business to sponsor workout 1, workout 2, workout 3 and so on.
And there you go. If you know anyone or you work with anyone, chuck it out there, see if they'd be interested.
Yeah, only £3,000 a workout to sponsor.
Yeah, which is a bargain for the advertisement you get.
And then following on from this in-house competition, the same-sex pairs is going to be on the 20th of September, which I believe is a Saturday, it should be. And same format, we'll open it up across all 3 gyms. To do any more than 4 heats, we'd be pushing to be able to actually have it done in that short time frame. Finishing around 1 o'clock. There's potential that you could do a clean ladder, which would be a bit quicker.
So why are you, all the comps I've been to, all day, finish at like 5-6 o'clock at night, why are we not doing that? Why are we doing them till...
Because nobody wants to be sat at a comp at 5 o'clock on a night still. You know, we've all done them, haven't we? We've been there,
Yep.
been there. That. They tend to be early starts. So that's the other thing we did, is usually do it 8 a.m. start, registration. Obviously, we know all our athletes.
Yeah.
So we went, right, just be there for 8:45. We'll crack on with a brief at 8:45. They knew the workouts already, so it was a quick brief and got the workout started. But yeah, that is always a feedback of competitions. Oh, the good days, but they're long.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're waiting for like nearly 2 hours between workouts, which is roughly what you are waiting. And you might have to get there for 8. And if you're in the last heat on the first workout, you might not go till 11.
Oh yeah, that's happened so many times.
Yeah. Especially because you usually go skilled, intermediate, RX.
Yeah.
So actually, we flipped it on the other way. We put the RX guys first.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and if you want to do any sort of longer duration workout, it just pushes that further back all the time. So the feedback was, we want to do a comp, but we don't actually want to be there all day. So I was like, okay, well, let's make that happen.
And I suppose if you, if they are all day, you only really want to do one a year, don't you? So if they're half days, you can do a few more back to back.
Yeah. No, it was good. So the format seemed to work. So we'll get the same-sex pairs. There's nothing to stop us getting the event set up, actually. So we could actually get that set up on WODboard and have people booking on.
There we go.
So yeah.
Nice early advance. No excuse to miss it.
No, find your partners. We'll do the same as well. We'll be categorising members into skilled, intermediate, and RX.
So that is the events for this year then. And the other big news that we've got, which I'm guessing everyone's seen now, we are now officially Hyrox Affiliated. So we put this out, and it come out, I know we've talked about it for a while, but it did kind of come out of the blue, our decision to do it and jump on it.
In our weekly meetings, we've been talking about it for a while. I think we've been a bit slow on it, personally. We should have probably done it last year. We
should have actually gone back to one of our first episodes of CrossFit versus Hyrox and listened to it before doing this, making sure we're not going back on something we've said, but I very much doubt we have.
No, I don't think we said anything about it, did we? We didn't say anything bad about it. We just explained the differences.
So why are we, that is probably a very strong, well-known CrossFit gym in the area, why have we gone, not the Hyrox route, why have we added Hyrox?
So the way we're doing it is we're only adding 2 classes a week. So that's a Tuesday evening at 7:30 and a Saturday morning. Our previous class, which was called Assault Fit, which is as Hyrox as they come, is going to be renamed Hyrox. So we've done Assault Fit at CrossFit Hull now for coming up to 10 years, I reckon.
Okay.
And as all our members know, Assault Fit is running, biking, rowing. It was called Assault Fit because it was based around the assault bikes originally. Right, okay. That's the way it got named from. So it was egg dominated. You'd be running. There'd be very, very little weight. There'd be burpees. There'd be box jumps. There'd be farmers carries. There'd be lunges. You know, everything that you find in Hyrox, other than sleds, I've already been in that class. So the reason why we've renamed that and added that Tuesday night is we've got a lot of members wanting to do Hyroxes. There's a lot of gyms running Hyrox simulator style workouts. So you don't actually have to sign up for a main Hyrox. You can actually go to some of these gyms and follow it as it is, 1,000 meters into each exercise, which is another competition idea because mental the amount of people that are signing up to do these.
Yeah, I know.
Fitness racing now. So new thing, fitness racing, which is good, and it gives people an insight into actually do I want to do a Hyrox. Because they can go in, they can have, some of them aren't exact format, you know, they move people sort of stations around, but you're still doing the stations. So yeah, that's the reason why we've done it. Is there's loads of members who want to do it.
So Assault Fit will also, I know it's being renamed Hyrox, but will that now be on a Tuesday night as well then? The same format?
Yeah. So the class 7:30. So it'll still be an hour's class because people are running the Hyrox in under an hour now. But for the average person, you don't need to be doing that much volume weekly.
So it's not a simulator we're doing?
No.
The simulator is the whole thing.
The
we have training for a Hyrox.
We're working on specifics across 2 sessions a week. So it's where the sleds will come out, which will be buying sleds and tracks. So it'll be more specific.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, other than that, we do everything else on our weekly program. So it's giving people the experience of doing those 1,000-meter repeats, which isn't something we do a lot of.
No.
Not that distance. We do 100s, 200s, 400s, 800s, and miles. We don't tend to do 1,000. So a lot of people probably don't know the pacing of 1,000 meters. Yeah. So that'll be good. And then coming in, and you'll be doing your wall balls. You'll be coming in, going out for a run. You'll be coming in. You'll do your egg work. So it'll be very specific to Hyrox, but it's only there to accompany.
So I think it's a double-edged sword with this, because I think some members will see a class named Hyrox and go, yes, this is what I want. We get members going to other gyms to do these classes, which is insane, because I think if you programmed the same class for Hyrox and named it Tuesday Night Fitness, people would turn up like a normal class. I also think you might get members not turn up because it says Hyrox. No, on like a Tuesday night. Yeah,
there is obviously those who do the CrossFit at that time, but will be moving to a Hyrox session on that night. But look at yesterday's workout, for example.
It's just a CrossFit session,
It's just a CrossFit session, yeah. It's just with specific movements that you'll find in a Hyrox.
So the only reason, if it is just the same, why have we spent money associating with the Hyrox brand?
Because I don't want to do something half-hearted.
Yeah.
If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. We're going to put the sessions on. We've got a 6-week program to start with, so we're going to run with a 6-week program, see how that works, and see how it slots in with what we're doing. But yesterday was a great example of the CrossFit class, proving that Hyrox is just a CrossFit event or a functional fitness event, because our class yesterday was 400 onto the row, into burpee box jumps, onto a bike, 400. That could be renamed a Hyrox class and nobody blink an eye.
And that wasn't us programming.
No, it's just our typical. No, it's literally just our typical CrossFit program for that week. It just happened to be on the day that we told people who was doing Hyrox. Everyone's like, we started Hyrox. Like, no, it's just a normal program.
So I am excited for it, actually. Not necessarily. I'd like to do more running because I'm bad at it.
We keep saying this. I actually want to go for a run.
No, I don't. But this is it. This will force me, because if we're doing it more, I'm going to do the sessions more. And I think that's actually probably the big thing that CrossFit is lacking in a lot of our workouts, is them maybe longer pace runs. Like a 200 and a 400 meter, the intensity is right up there, isn't it? You're in zone 4 running. Whereas zone 2 and zone 3, we're never really in. I think with a kilometre run, for me, that's going to be a good chance to maybe bring that heart rate down, practice a bit more technique work, and especially over the space of an hour, even doing half that 4K, that's a good size run for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The top athletes are using the runs to bring that heart recovery. Yeah, because they're good runners. They're doing a lot of running, so they know within 100, 200 meters, that heart rate is just dropping down, and I certainly wouldn't, but they are getting to that next event or
fresh.
What would you call it? Station. Pretty fresh, to be fair, and they're running some quick Ks as well.
So the reason we've done it is exactly that. We have had members move and spend time at other gyms just to do that, because it is named Hyrox. So at the end of the day, we've talked about this quite a few times. It is a business, and as you said, we've not changed anything programming wise. We're maybe going to put a little bit more Metcon focused workouts on that Tuesday and Saturday.
Only in them sessions.
But they are going to be CrossFit. It's still the CrossFit methodology at its finest.
Yeah. So every session, barring 2 hours a week, well, really 1 hour.
Yeah.
Because it's only the Tuesday. changes. So we've had a few people, we're not going to completely change. No, nothing like that's happening. It's literally just a couple of additional sessions so people can work on the specific movements that they're going to see in that order as well.
And we will get some early access codes for Hyrox events.
Yeah, to be fair, I've not actually read through all the information that I've sent across.
Yeah, so they send so many, I think you get a couple hours before they get released. If you're an affiliate, if you're a Hyrox affiliate, your members can get it. So, talking of Hyrox,
Josh?
Yeah, big Josh. He completed Hyrox in
127, 129.
I think it was a 130 mark. I'm trying to think what country it was in.
He did it last week, didn't he?
Yeah, I want to say it was Norway or somewhere.
Netherlands.
Anyway,
yeah.
So Josh is 6'1", 6'2".
He's a big old boy.
Rugby player. If you looked at him, I don't think he'd mind me saying, he's not a runner physique.
Nope.
Like, if you run into Josh, you will know about it.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He is built for power, for strength. He's been doing CrossFit quite a while now.
Oh, yeah. He used to be a barber. I remember when he lived in Beverley and then he moved towards us, so he moved over.
He doesn't really do any running specific things.
52, 53?
Yeah.
And he's just done Hyrox in 128.
128, so sub 130. That is classed as a good time, let alone...
Belgium. Hyrox Belgium, he did it.
Let alone someone of Josh's age and height and build. Like, that's an incredible time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do anything apart from CrossFit classes.
CrossFit, yeah. And a few additional runs, yeah.
Yeah. So we were with him last week in France, 2 weeks ago. And he was saying he was nervous about it, but he took it exactly for what it is. It is just a long, drawn-out CrossFit session. And he's buzzing with it.
I got surprised. I was just thinking then, would I want to go to Belgium on my own and do Hyrox?
No.
As a single, a lot of people do Hyrox doubles because, as we know, like you can share the work. It's less daunting. You know, if you're really tired, somebody can help you out and take extra sort of rowing and things like that. But to go out there and do it by yourself, fair play, man.
So I'm going to put it out there now. Hyrox affiliate owner. Are you going to do one?
No, absolutely not.
You know what? After seeing Josh do it, I'll give you this, Josh. You give me a bit of. Actually, I might give it a go. Whether it'll be a pairs or a single, it might be something maybe for next year to think. Actually, we're running the program now.
Can you imagine me and you running it?
Well, that's it. And you know what? We keep talking and we keep laughing about this about running. The only way to get better at running is running. And we've got 2 sessions a week now where...
I think I'm busy them days.
there's going to be running focused on. But thank you, Josh. It just showed us that you can absolutely smash it.
Yeah. And say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, I'm now considering. Probably may only just stay at considering. But I might give it a go.
Well... I ain't committing to anything.
Watch this space. But yeah, really, I think this platform that we do for the podcast is used for getting information out there, but also for showing people who's done really impressive stuff. And for me, that's
bigging people up.
Yeah.
So I had a complaint actually about the last podcast.
Oh,
yeah. Ellie said that we just brushed past her achievement in the Open and talked about everybody else.
Oh well, unlucky. Dry your eyes, sweetheart.
He did really, really well.
Yeah, there
well
you go.
Done.
No, she is actually my teammate for the beach comp.
Yes.
Meg made us do it, so it's good to see that she is on form. She's got to keep off them Guinnesses, and we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Bless her.
She tries harder.
Next topic.
So we was talking about topics for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I've asked the question to quite a few members the last couple of days. And it'll be controversial to some. But is fat shaming bad or wrong?
I think with this one then, completely, if it is meant from a nasty, malicious kind of way, or if it's done in a public setting where you want to degrade someone massively.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if it's done out of a way of you're worried and caring for someone. I wouldn't say it's classed as fat shaming then. I think it's telling them the truth, which I don't think's wrong. I think it's the very opposite. I think it's because you care. But
no, I agree.
We don't talk about the fat shaming. It goes the other way. So my wife had it the whole time she was growing up, and my daughter gets it now, is skinny shaming. So you're like a rake. You need to eat more. You need to do this.
I think that actually comes from a place of jealousy for a lot of people.
Completely. But if you get... So
I don't think many people are jealous for somebody who's overweight.
Yeah, you know what? But then...
God, you're massive. I wish I could eat like you.
When you talk to Bella or my wife when she was growing up, when teachers used to say it used to upset her.
Yeah, I can imagine it does, yeah.
And I think that still gets it now because Bella gets it. You need to eat more, you need to do this. And my daughter's so active.
But people also say that to Asher.
Yeah.
I don't even want me to say this, Asher, but I'm going to. Asher's tall and lean. And I know that people around her give her digs about, why are you always eating healthy? Why are you always doing this? Actually, she's just not carrying any body fat. Like, that's not a bad thing.
No.
Like, at all, is it?
So what
obviously
would you...
for Bella, she's developing. She will gain muscle mass naturally as she gets older. So she's grown tall before she's gained that muscle mass, hasn't she? Whereas if you're an adult and you've got abs or you're slim and you look slim, somebody shouldn't be calling that out.
No,
you're doing things right, and
we're
not designed to carry
but
excessive weight, are we?
You can go the other way. I completely agree with. So you can be excessively big, so that's where your fat shaming would come in, or you can be excessively skinny and not, verging on the anorexic way.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to call out one and not the other. Like, I think people find it fine to be like, you're too skinny, you need to do this. Whereas I think if you'd said to someone, even in a group setting,
you're too fat,
you need to stop eating, you'd be branded.
Yeah, you would, yeah. I've probably got the same views on you. Like, it's up to the individual what they do. Yeah. And the day if they want to give themselves chronic illnesses, which is effectively what people are doing by carrying excessive weight, it's not me saying it. Every study in the world will tell you that if you carry excessive weight, you're putting too much strain on your body, your heart, the cholesterol levels are through the roof, the blood pressure's through the roof. If not type 2 diabetes, there will be showing every sign of falling into type 2 diabetes. So if I'm saying it to somebody who I know and care for, I'm saying it because I'm like, dude, like, you've got kids, or do you want to live to see, the rest of your life? Because what you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in a hellhole. That's a big, hard hole to dig out of. We
talked about this, you probably won't remember it, when we first started talking about the nutrition stuff for myself. And you were saying, well, you just have to tell people you need to lose weight. And I was like, well, I think it was how to get better at gymnastics on the rig.
Oh, yeah, that's a touchy one. Well, it's true.
You need to lose weight. And I was like, I can't say that. I think I've now learned, actually, if I'm saying it, it's because I care. Because I could quite easily just think, I don't care about you. I'm not going to give you any advice. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You'll get it one day. Or actually, if I say to somebody, you need to lose some weight, and that's going to help you, your body mass and muscle strength to do that movement, that's an honest blow because I want you to achieve that goal.
Yeah, that's, I suppose, is it fat shaming? I guess similar, but it's coming from a good place. Because somebody says to you, Alex, I can't do strict pull-ups, I really want to do strict pull-ups, and they're clearly carrying 10 extra kilos, maybe even more. Well, go give them a 10 kilo plate and say, do a pull-up with that.
I think the fat shaming comes in, and this is the point I was getting at with my daughter, that if you say something in a public setting or in a setting to get a reaction, that is fat shaming. And to be fair, if you're doing that,
if you're doing it for a reaction, I think that's where, yeah, if you're doing it for a reaction, then that's bad.
But I think if it's a one-on-one, I think if the fact I've come out my way to have a one-on-one chat with you, if that subject gets brought up, it comes out of a place of caring. Just like teachers saying that to my daughter in a public setting is just as bad as if it was the other way around.
Yeah, it is. I was a best man for my friend who carries a bit of extra weight, and my first joke was about being fat.
How did that go down?
The room loved it. I don't know if he did, but it was the best man speech.
Yeah,
so
it's got to be.
Fair play, should have gone to the gym, which was part of the joke. But yeah, I think if you're fat shaming from a good place, that you're trying to help somebody, and you do understand what carrying all that excessive weight can do, and what it does to the body and the illnesses that it will bring on, then actually you're probably doing them some good. But what I've learned is you can say it until you're blue in the face. Unless they're willing to actually change, you could end up just really fucking annoying someone.
Yeah.
And you can get frustrated. But at one point they will do it.
You know what? I think, especially for myself, and I think we're lucky that every one of our coaches is the same. I think we do care, and if we tell you or give advice, it does come from a caring spot. Now, if you don't want to take that advice, that's also okay. Like, if you're fine, I think it's because we do quite a bit on nutrition. We see the brain injury classes. We see lots of other stuff that are affected from poor lifestyle changes as well. They can be big contributing factors. I think we're a bit more passionate about it. And working in the industry, there is a thing of, look at 100 Words of Fitness.
Yeah,
you want to eat and not...
Yeah, it literally starts with nutrition, doesn't it?
So I think that's a big thing. But I think the whole fat shaming, I think it's the same as skinny shaming as anything. I think that then comes into a public factor where it's bullying.
It's the same as bald shaming.
Well...
I can say it to Pete. And you can say
it to Pete,
you can say it to me, can't you? Let's be honest. You know, neither of us have got good heads of hair.
But you know what? I think it's also... so I get this at work a lot, is someone's perception of a conversation you've had. So Carl always calls me Giacomo. That's just a thing he's called me since I started, because he's a horrible little man.
Again, fat shaming, height shaming, bald shaming.
We take that as a personal joke, whatever. I think if someone was on the outside going, God, that coach has just called that guy in there Giacomo, they can perceive that as kind of, he's fat shaming, he shouldn't be doing this. I think it's a private conversation. And if then people are fine with it, then... I don't know, it's a very touchy subject. And this is the thing where you have got to tread...
Oh,
you've got to read the room when it comes to it.
You can upset people's feelings, but at the end of the day, if they've come to you for help, or it's a family member or a friend that you're trying to genuinely help, because we do have the knowledge to help, funny enough. Like, we've been doing this for a long time. We've worked a lot on nutrition, and you are only trying to do it to be nice.
So I had this chat with my wife again. So my dad died 3 years ago, and that was from blocked up arteries in the heart, which was due to diet. And he was a lorry driver, smoked a lot, ate shit food. He was massively overweight. Yeah. Died at 60. Now,
not like that, is it?
For me, in my head...
Would your dad, Alison and John, do a comp at nearly 60?
Yeah. I mean, in my head, the people who have missed out is me, my daughter, and that's just through diet. That's through diet, nothing else. Well, it's from a lack of education through diet. So I think I used to say to him, you're fat, you need to lose weight. Fat shaming? Yeah, potentially.
But only because you want him to be around.
Completely from a loving place.
Yeah.
But maybe the way I was doing it was wrong, for then not going down the education thing of actually...
Yeah, let me help you out.
Do you know what this does? So it's all learning, and I think we all have these personal experiences where we can be passionate about it. So for God's sake, if I have ever said anything and it comes across as he's just called me fat or he's just said this, it's not meant that way. Every single one of the members, I do want to see
improvements,
be the best they can. So
absolutely. When we were talking about this morning, John's worked in public health for a long time, weight loss management and clinics and things like that. And he was saying, like, bad food is just so readily available. Like, when we were kids, so you went and you got a packet of crisps. It was like 25 gram packet of crisps or 20 gram, whatever it was. And you went and got a chocolate bar or a little bag of buttons. Now, everything's is max size because they want more money from it. You don't just get a small bag of buttons. You get a family share bag of buttons because it's only 50p more and you get 10 times the amount. And I go mad at my my old man for bringing the kids loads of sweets and goodies all the time. I'm like, they don't need them.
As a kid,
I've got to the point now where I'm like, I make them get bowls out.
I used to remember going to McDonald's for birthday. Like, do you know what I mean? You and your
treat.
mate. It's now.
It's just there, innit?
And
takeaways, just eats, Deliveroos.
I say to clients when we're going through nutrition about having non-processed foods to walk down the first 2 aisles normally in any supermarket.
Yeah,
that's your.
That you could do your shopping that.
And then every single aisle, as soon as you learn about processed foods, which is pretty much anything added to it, that's the whole shop. And they're there just to sell you, and it is nice tasting stuff. That's the sugar in it. The rest of the shop is
shit.
Everything designed to make you put weight on, which is
convenience as well.
Mental.
Yeah. Do you know what I liked about being back in France when I was skiing the other week? A baker's is still a baker's.
Yeah. The
butcher's still a butcher's. The supermarket that we went to was only small.
Yeah.
And only had sort of. It still had all your junk as other places like crisps and biscuits.
Nowhere
and
near
cakes.
as much though.
No. Cheese, bread.
Yeah.
So when you look at the French diet, you don't see many fat French people around. I'm sure they're there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I reckon their percentage of obesity to the UK is massively different. And they eat meats, cured meats, a lot of bread,
a
lot of cheese. You literally see people walking around with baguettes.
You'd normally, in your mindset, that is going to build a big person in it. Cheese, fatty meats, bread.
It's not a thing though.
So what's your, I got it straight away as soon as I start talking about this. It costs too much to eat healthy.
I'd say that's a lie.
Yeah, I would.
Because if you just walk to the freezers and all frozen fruit and vegetables, super cheap. They're not gonna go out of date.
They hold more nutrition than your normal veg.
Yeah. So I tend to eat, I reckon, 90% frozen vegetables.
Yeah. Same.
Because they don't go out of date.
Yeah.
And I buy the medleys. So you get carrots, green beans, broccoli, sweet corn.
How easy is it as well?
Something else in there as well. I can't remember what it is. But you put them in the microwave for about 4 minutes.
Done.
And you can have a massive bowl of vegetables to go with any meal. Don't get me wrong, frozen broccoli, never cooked right. Never. But there is enough out there that you could discard broccoli and still eat a lot of frozen vegetables
So I
cheaply.
have a thing with meat as well, about buying good quality meat from the butchers and your processed stuff from the Tesco. I get that it's cheaper, but when you have a look at what you are getting from that meat, so if you have a look at how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat you're getting from a processed bit of meat in for that, compared to a butcher's meat, you need a fraction of it, don't you, to get the same amount.
Yeah. And butchers is, unfortunately nowadays, is an expensive way to buy meat. But again, frozen meat, if you're just careful what you're buying, we've talked about this before, haven't we? Just check the labels and things like that. And you don't want a 90% chicken breast that's got 10% water injected into it, because they literally inject it so it looks big, and then you cook it and you've got hardly anything there. But there still is frozen options that are cheaper, or you can afford to buy in bulk and wrap it and freeze it.
Macro job.
That's the cheapest way of buying it. Yes, you do need to have obviously 30 to 40 quid spare just to spend on a kilo, 5 kilos of chicken, whatever it is. But it's a really efficient way of doing it, and you can separate it into a pouch, and you're not buying little tiny frozen chicken breasts either. You're buying proper chicken breasts that would actually probably feed 2 people.
So my biggest thing with this, and it always will be, it's one of the first things I talk about, is how much do you value your health? Because as we've just said, for the sake, most people's got the top package of Sky TV, most people's got the brand newest iPhone, and then they talk about, well,
I don't want to spend.
I'm not spending £5 on a bit of meat.
Yeah.
If I can get it for £3.50.
Or Costa Coffee. That's nearly £5 ago now.
Yeah.
A pint, you'd be lucky to get changed from a £5 anywhere now.
I think.
For a pint.
Yeah, the food is
prioritising, isn't it?
Food price is going up, but when you balance that to your health I personally would rather have an extra 5 years of my life and pay a bit extra for food. But again, that's just how you see stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But that education is changing right from kids right up.
Yeah.
But our generation, like, there's a few that are making changes, and places like CrossFit and other sort of group fitness gyms are really, really helping. But there's so much that we're never going to get hold of or never going to be able to help because they're not interested in the gym. They're probably past the point of caring, which is a real shame.
Yeah, but it's fine. Don't affect us, really.
No, I think the bottom or second to bottom on the highest obesity rate in the UK on the stats. I'd love to be able to help out as many people as possible, but they've got to be willing to make that change, haven't they? And as we talked about before, doing something is better than nothing. So either of those listen and decide to go start walking.
Yeah.
For half an hour, 40 minutes a day, it'll make a big difference. Will he?
That's the ever-growing question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or sticking at it is the real.
Whereas I think our kids are now in the education system where they are taught about the importance of exercise and nutrition. We are going to get the kids on, aren't we, to do a podcast about nutrition because they know what a plate should look like.
I'll tell you what we had. We've got time. Yeah, so Brooke, my 16-year-old lad, he's 6 foot, built, big stocky lad. And when he was at primary school, so 5 years ago now, they weighed him, did a BMI on him or something, and literally said to him that you're fat, you're overweight. So they sent him home, and once a week we had a nutritionist come in. And for me, into fitness all my life, I was mortified. I was fuming. Yeah. So they come in, best thing ever. This nutritionist was like, this BMI thing's a load of rubbish, is growing up, but do you know what these red foods are? Do you know what's how many sugars in fresh orange juice? Is Brooks into his fitness now? He loves gym. Does the protein shakes, stuff like that. That was from that bit of education. Now, the only downside about that is because of how the school handled it, and I know from talking to members, it's been in other schools. He went that holiday that year. He went swimming with a t-shirt on.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because he had knocked his confidence that much. So when you talk fat shaming, that's exactly what it does. Whereas I think education was a bit more...
That should have been a conversation with the parents.
I was fuming.
Not a 10, 11-year-old.
Yeah.
It should be, we've weighed, we've checked.
Yeah.
He's out on the BMI, which again is only very, very rough guidance. But it's an indicator.
But for like an 11-year-old...
To be told that, yeah.
And my daughter, vice versa, has been told it the other way.
She's too slim, yeah.
So I think schools are getting it better, but I think that, especially, going to shout out now, Bowmandale in Barton, the 2 incidents I've had with it has actually been really negative.
It's a shame, that, isn't it? Because again, they shouldn't be speaking to the kids, they should be speaking to the parents.
But the result of that was this nutritionist, and she said the North Links were trying to bring this in at school. I actually think they lost funding on it. But they sat them down and taught them how to exactly what we do with clients, read out how much calories are in 100 grams, work out what 100 grams is, you're good. And then they went through the traffic light system.
Oh, on labels?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Surprising how many people don't know what that is.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
I genuinely, someone said that the red stuff was spice level on foods.
So I've noticed, so that's on drinks with the sugar content and things in it. It's on some packet food, isn't it?
So it's on most like ready meals now.
Yeah, it's on those.
It's
yeah,
on
because the GSNs have them, don't they?
Yeah.
Do chocolate bars have them? I don't think they do they?
No.
Why?
Because they'd be red. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love a chocolate bar. Would it stop me eating a chocolate bar? No, because I do it in moderation. Ish. But why is it on some foods and not others?
I don't think it puts people off now. I think they're happy.
I generally look at some things though and like, oh, Jesus Christ, why is that like that? And I'll get something different.
Yeah. That's you.
Still a bit fluffy.
I think, again, one to preach, but We do actually care.
Yeah. Why actually? I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
Why is it on certain foods and not all foods?
I definitely know it's on a lot of the packaged pre-meal stuff because you see them when you walk around. I think it's on some pizzas.
Yeah, I've seen it on pizzas, which is fat shaming a pizza.
I'm
going to Google it now.
Yeah, fat shaming is. I think it is bullying in its biggest form if it's done in a public sector and stuff. But I also think that this day and age, a lot of things can be said and automatically taken into negative context rather than I'm saying it because I care. I'm not saying people are more touchy now because they're not. But
people are touchy.
Well,
unfortunately.
No, it's a good subject. That I think it's. I hope in any situation we've never done that to anyone, and if it has come across that way, it is because we care.
Yeah, I say this to everybody. Like, I can come across as abrupt sometimes, but
yeah.
Like if I'm telling you to do something or not do something, it's only because I don't want you to hurt yourself or fail something.
I struggle with people at times. I don't talk good to people. Like I don't. My brain just comes out and I say stuff, and then afterwards I'm like, shit.
So I've just Googled
the
traffic light system. It's a voluntary scheme.
Wow.
Yeah. The traffic light system is a voluntary scheme, meaning food manufacturers and retailers choose whether or not to use it. There is no legal requirement for food manufacturers to use the traffic light system, although displaying essential nutritional information on the back of the pack is mandatory for most pre-packaged foods, but the traffic light system is not.
So that should be, in my eyes, a requirement for all processed foods then, shouldn't it, really?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Industry opposition. Some food manufacturers have been hesitant to adopt the system, citing concerns about costs and potential negative perceptions of their products. Well, only if it's full of shit.
Yeah, it's negative products for a reason then, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting.
So there you go. A little free fitness dip, if you are having a look around the supermarket and there isn't that traffic light code, it's probably because it's really bad.
It's full of shit, isn't it?
It really is bad then.
That's bad,
because that's the only reason you'd put...
I thought it was mandatory.
It's the only reason you'd not put something on that then, innit? If it's that bad.
Absolutely, yeah. So fair play to those who actually do put it on and it's got reds on it.
And you know what? Them reds, when you look into it, because
it's not always bad, is it?
No, it's not. It's higher than your average amount of daily fat per meal. So I think it works out per calorie, your fat percentage, and if it's a lot above what it should be, it's going to take you over your daily amount. It goes into the red category, but
it doesn't mean one meal is taking you over.
And especially with members as well, they're going to potentially have a low sugar or fat diet anyway. So that one meal, it's not going to take you into that zone where you'd be putting fat on.
I don't know why, but that's really annoyed me, that.
Yeah.
Our government has got no backbone whatsoever. So they introduced such a system that would easily help you identify potential risks or high consumption of foods that you might need to avoid.
And how easy would that be to teach kids? Red is bad, green is good. Amber's,
Keith Starmer, if you're listening, you bun.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it wasn't even him, was it? I don't even know when it was brought in, to be fair. Probably Conservatives.
That'd be a good thing to get a little petition going there.
Traffic like all food. Because if they're putting the nutritional information on the back, they've got that information.
And
stick on the front.
And this is the biggest thing, and I don't think we're going to be able to even make a dent in it, no matter what we do, is that educational factor. They're banking on people don't know what they're reading on the back of them packages.
Of course, yeah.
So
and some of them are very confusing as well.
They're banking on you don't know what per 100 grams.
Well, you won't unless you weigh it out.
700 calories per 100 grams. That's going to be a massive red sticker. They're banking that you don't know anything about that.
I put some skin on chips. Skin on chips?
Yeah,
in the air fryer. And it gave the measurement in 1/8. 1/8 for this package is a recommended daily intake. The package was 850 grams.
100 grams?
Yeah. 100 grams, right? So I pause out the chips. That's nearly 100 grams, isn't it? Double it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Do you know the big one is breakfast? A bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
What is it, 30 grams?
30 to 40 grams, isn't it?
Which is like, if you imagine a bowl, it's probably the very first layer.
It's a multi-pack. Do you know if you buy the multi-packs of...
Them Kids multi-packs.
Kids multi-packs, they are portioned out in the right proportion. So if you ever want to test it, buy some of those for the week and pour them out, and you'll soon see how little comes out of it.
As you can see, nutrition, I'd like to think we're both very passionate about it, and it's an absolute minefield at times. If you ever need any help with anything, give us a shout.
Yeah, we do one-to-one nutrition coaching.
Yeah.
And the goal of that is 3 months. No less, definitely no less, because there's a lot of education to it. But ideally, it's actually no more, because...
So my Connor and Halo are now on their last week to say goodbye to him. They've done amazing. I don't think they need nutritional support anymore.
They need accountability.
They do need accountability, but we've set things up for that. So just to be accountable, you can be accountable to yourself. And there's things we've set up. So weekly check-ins, weekly markers to hit. But yeah, that's what we offer. There's a few coaches that are doing it. 3 months of, so we call it an educational accountability.
Yeah.
So we teach you everything you need to know about a deficit, a gain, a maintenance, performance-based, how to easily change your lifestyle and be accountable for it. So,
and if you can take 3 months worth of education and use it for the rest of your life, it's not cheap, is it?
No.
It's £240.
£240
for 3 months.
3 months.
But the goal is, after that 3 months, you shouldn't need to be taught anything else. You should know what to do. You should know how to track, count.
So I had Connor send me what are your plans for the next 3 months. So that's what I got him to do at the end. He recalculated his calories, broke down all his macros, how much grams of protein he was going to have. He set up 3 fitness workouts he was going to retest, and he set himself 2 weekly check-ins of weights, progress, everything. To see him send me that last night, so 3 A4 pages.
That's good, isn't it?
All detailed, like notes, everything. At the end of it, you're like, you're fine.
Yeah. And that's the goal. It's not cheap, but it's there to teach you something to use for the rest of your life. And the only thing I think, once people have finished doing the nutrition there, is they might need some accountability at some points.
Yeah.
Which everybody does. And what was I say?
We could quite easily arrange check-ins for...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's gone now. What else was I going to say about you? That?
And for people who...
Oh, there, go on.
People who want a more generic view and stuff, if you think, well, I'm not paying that or whatever, we've got stuff on Woodboard that we can direct
There's free
you
stuff,
to.
yeah.
And it's
There's
just,
loads.
you haven't got that accountability or asking questions, interaction. But
there's how to use MyFitnessPal on there. There's nutrition programs on there. It's all on the member hub. If anybody wants to go look at that and thinks they can do it by themselves, by all means, I hope you can, because
and it is
it takes a better man than me to be able to start with.
There's a lot of information out there on the internet. It's just sometimes it's hard enough as it is. We're just giving that option to make it slightly easier.
I remember what I was going to say. We don't give diet plans out.
No, so they are my worst enemy.
We'll give you some recipe guides, so we call them. We've got some new ones sorted that are like a 1,500 meal. 2,000 a day calorie, 2,500 to give you some ideas. But if somebody is charging you and they send you a PDF document of what to eat, how do you know how to do that for the rest of your life?
That is exactly. So we've had members say, well, it's easier. Like,
short term fixes.
It is easy. So,
don't get me started as well.
12 weeks after, then you don't know what you're having for breakfast, or you carry on that same thing. And I can tell you now, you will not be eating the same thing for 12 weeks and being happy about it.
Brings me on to one last thing, and we can't get into a hole on it. Weight loss injections.
Don't.
I'd run out of wall about it.
So I must have met 4 or 5 people like in the last 2 weeks. Someone from work lost about 4 stone, thinks they're the bee's knees on weight loss.
My concern for them is, once you stop the injections, because you do have to stop them at some point, you can't suppress your appetite for the rest of your life. You can't just keep losing weight.
You die.
Exactly. That's one thing. Is when's there a safe time to stop? Are people setting a goal weight? Are they having a consultation saying, I would like to be, let's say, ladies go dress size. I'd like to be a dress size 12, or a guy going, I'd like to fit back into my medium shirts.
When's enough?
Right?
Yeah.
When's enough? And who controls that? Then, when you finish them, what do you know about nutrition? Unless you've gone and learnt about it, you know fuck all about nutrition. That's going to stop you
putting it all back on.
Putting it back on, because you've got to that place somehow, obviously over-consuming foods. You then jab some stuff in you for 6 months, lose a load of weight. What's going to stop you just going straight back up to the top? There's zero. And talk about that fucking traffic light system not being mandatory.
Yeah, no.
How are people allowed to give these jabs out?
Whether
it's going to the doctor and getting a Zempic or using that Manjaro that any Tom, Dick and Harry seems to be able to flog you.
No,
anyway,
I don't.
Blows my mind.
I don't understand that one little bit. And I think that education in nutrition thing, if you did that with the injections, I could almost be like, I see where we're firefighting now to get your weight down. But in that time, you now have learned how to track your macros, a balanced diet. I'd actually be up for that. I'd be like, yeah, it's probably not the best way, but...
That initial consultation of when to stop is what I would like to understand, if people are even having that conversation.
So...
Hopefully they are.
The conversation I have it with clients as well. What's our goal? Set a goal. We achieve that goal in 4 weeks. What do they do straight away? Well, I want to lose more now. I want to lose this. All of a sudden, thinking I'll lose 10 kilo, I'll be stood there with a 6-pack. They get there and they go, oh, well, I'm just going to lose another 10 kilo. You're never going to be happy. You're always going to be chasing that.
It'd be nice if we all walk around with abs.
But that's how hard it is. When you see someone with a 6-pack, like Brad.
18-pack, twat.
You see Brad and you just think, he's working out. He works out hard. That is perfect diets. That's dedication.
Science.
He puts so much work into that. If it was that easy just from doing a bit of a workout, everyone would have a 6-pack. Everyone would be Brad or Plumber. And when you talk to them about the work they put in, and they've done it for years, so it's just nothing.
I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty certain that Plumber doesn't even eat the same food as his missus.
No, he has. So I think I've talked to him. I think
he does his own shop.
Breakfast and same as Ellis.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast and dinners is the same every single day. And I think he treats himself on a weekend, on like a Saturday afternoon. I would love to look like either of them. I can't be bothered to go to that 10th degree because I obviously don't want it that much. That's the difference.
If it doesn't suit what you want in lifestyle, and you don't need it, yeah. Like, Plumber looks like he could walk on a bodybuilding stage at any point. He's obviously, there's going to be some, and I'm not taking away from how hard he works, some genetics.
Oh, yeah.
That are very good there. You know, Shaft, he's always been ripped. He, again, works hard with his nutrition, works hard. But some people are naturally...
Would you then call that if it went the other way?
What do you mean?
So when you
some
were
people
on
are
about
naturally
fat
fat
shaming, would you just say genetics of... Because really you've got to, haven't you, in that?
Yeah, no. Because I can have a rough week on food and put a kilo on the scales and be like, fucking hell, what happened there?
Yeah.
So I could be the opposite way. I'm not saying I am, but, you know, you could be the opposite way. But you can't take away the hard work.
No. And I think that's the thing that them people who have just mentioned, Brad, Ellis, Plumber, their hard work, they're not just in the gym once, are they? And they're not just eating rubbish. They put a lot of work into that. So
if Ellis just listens to this, I want to know how he's going to change from mince and potatoes every night.
I don't think
he can't just eat that. Can't eat that for the rest of his life. So where's his plan?
We drove back from Manchester.
He sent Steph.
I think that is his plan. I think he's more than happy.
I don't think it's sustainable.
A year in, mince and potatoes, I think he's more than happy.
To be fair, I could probably do the same thing. No, I'm lying. I used to be able to. Did I ever tell you what I used to have for my lunch? We're chatting on to how long we got on there?
About 20 seconds.
I used to mix a tin of tuna with a tin of beans and put some brown sauce in to take the edge off it. I used to eat cold tuna, cold beans with brown sauce every day for my lunch because it was One, it was cheap when I lived by my own.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Super cheap. High in protein. 40, nearly 50 grams of protein in it. I used to get the low salt beans. I used to put some brown sauce in just to take the edge off it.
Well, I
used to have a few mouthfuls at morning break, and then I used to eat the rest for my dinner, and that used to see me through a 12-hour shift.
I hope nobody takes that advice on.
I keep threatening to do it again just to see how good it was. But I was probably the best shape of my life. But yeah, we should wrap it up there.
Yeah, we're going to end it there. So just to go over, we've talked about the comps and why we've affiliated with Hyrox, and then a little bit on the nutrition again.
Got carried away with everything later.
Yeah, got ranting. Again, if you like this, comment, like the page. Also, we've started to get a few questions. We're going to start answering them back on the podcast, so definitely chuck them on there. We don't just ignore them. And hopefully we will see you again in 2 weeks, next week. Right, see you later.
Thanks, bye.